I think with any new model, there is to be expected a level of healthy skepticism about the viability of the model. And I think different aspects about financial costs to support open access model and whether open access models, because the journals are relatively young, many journals have yet to establish fully a reputation. The issue about sustainability in terms of attracting high quality papers and high quality authors, I mean, that has also been discussed fairly intensely among academic colleagues. But suffice it to say that with those two real question marks that remain to be fully addressed, although I think we are making good progress in terms of addressing them, and the trend is suggesting that the financial models can be viable, and the trend is also very positive in terms of increasing quality and increasing volume of submission. So once one gets beyond those two major concerns, I think that authors who have published with us are generally positive. They generally see us as being competitive with subscription-based journals. They generally see that there is a very, very socially worthwhile aspect to open access publishing. I am persuaded that in the next 20 years, you will see that open access publishing will become the dominant model of choice. I mean, I am always fond of talking to my lay friends when they ask me to sort of describe the concept of open access publishing and how to explain the differences between open access publishing and subscription-based publishing. And I would point them to an example that everybody at large is aware of, which is the competing models when you look at the open distribution of information in the Yahoo Google model versus sort of the walled-off distribution that is propounded by the AOL subscription model. And if you can understand how those two competing models have tipped, then you can understand potentially how subscription publishing versus open access publishing might conceivably tip in a similar fashion going forward. What we need to do is, those of us who believe in open access publishing, what we need to do is that we need to do a better job of educating the legislatures, the governments, the librarians, our colleague scientists, and the public at large, so that they can understand that this model has some really important sort of epoch-changing effect on how we go forward, not just in publishing, but how we go forward in terms of distributing knowledge, as a civilization. It is really an unprecedented opportunity, and those of us who understand what open access means, and those of us who are believers in open access, I think we need to do a better job in terms of spreading the word.